He bought clicks the way other people buy lottery tickets, and in bulk, anonymous, and with a single reckless hope that one of them would pay off. He bought those clicks not to sell soap or shoes, but to turn the quiet, private moments of millions of strangers into profit. And when people closed their browsers and saw a police badge on their screen demanding a fine, it was his voice very far away, asking them to pay. This is a story about a 19-year-old who dropped out of college and, within a few years, helped build a machine that used the internet's own advertising arteries as a weapon. He was called K&G online. His real name was Zain Qaiser. He was small in the physical world and enormous in the damage he did, infecting browsers, freezing screens with fake police warnings, buying loyalty from organized crime, and when companies pushed back, ordering attacks that took whole servers offline. It sounds cinematic because it is, but it is also painfully human, full of ambition, vanity, ruin, and a brittle logic that believed danger could be managed with enough money and bravado. For a long time, the web's ads were the internet's overlooked plumbing, a dull stream of banners and pop-ups that paid for everything we consumed for free. Then the plumbing got hijacked. Somewhere between a flashing banner and a user's click, a new industry formed. Not of honest marketers, but of people who built fake companies and forged identities to buy ad space cheaply, often on mainstream sites. These were not the dark alleys of the web. They were the bright, banal sites millions visited every day. Pornography websites, news portals, even well-known ad exchanges became the distribution channels for something else entirely. Code that searched for holes in people's browsers and then, when it found one, slipped in and locked the screen. The message the user got was terrifyingly simple. Pay a fine or lose your files, face arrest, be shamed. This style of attack would come to be called ransomware, and the police-style warnings were a particularly cruel form of social engineering. How did it work in human terms? Imagine you go to a site you think is ordinary. A banner animation plays, a simple, plausible advert. And somewhere in that animation is a tiny hidden piece of code that redirects your browser, for a handful of seconds, to a page that probes your computer for weaknesses. If your machine is vulnerable, the attacker's tool quietly installs a program that freezes the screen and replaces it with a message that looks like it came from the authorities. The screen shows a police crest, a stern voice, a threat of legal consequences, and instructions to pay up, often in hard-to-trace electronic vouchers or digital currency. For someone who thought they had simply opened an ad, the experience is suddenly very, very real. The shame and fear these messages exploit are precisely why they worked. People saw the police badge, they feared exposure, they paid. That human panic is the true co-conspirator in this crime. Zain's operation was not a loner's garage hack. He built a business out of deception. He created layers of fake companies and forged identity documents to buy advertising inventory that most advertisers would not touch. He learned how to place those ads so they would reach millions of browsers a month. He hooked up with more experienced Russian-speaking criminal groups that already controlled powerful exploit kits and money laundering channels. The exploit kits were the technical muscle. The ad buys were the distribution system. The ransom screens were the cash-out mechanism. Together, they formed a cycle. Buy traffic cheaply, infect users, demand fines, launder the payments, and use some of that money to buy more traffic. Over a period of years, this arrangement funneled into accounts that, investigators later found, paid for gambling sprees, luxury purchases, and a life that on the surface looked unremarkable, and yet, under it, carried glaring excess. Another reason this not end with a prison sentence. The digital ecosystem that made his crimes possible